to my garden. I thought I'd do another video coming to the what would typically call the end of the summer. Today being the 19th of August and the temperature currently is 20 degrees. Thought we'd have a look around as things are coming to an end and things are still growing. So we'll just have a look around. Okay, if I look at this view of the cannas this way, but if I just go to the front here. Yes, I had the sprinkler on last night. We've had a bit of a fun, well, if you're in the UK you know we've had a bit of a funny summer. We had a late spring, and today is Monday. A couple of days ago we had high 20s, then it cooled off. We've had like days of mid-20s, high 20s for about 3 days, 4 days, then it'll cool off. It's not been what I would call consistent sort of summer where the temperature's been consistently maybe in the mid or high 20s for 5, 6 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's been sort of off and on. Well, things have been coping, but it's been a bit windy, as you can tell with my bananas in a minute. So these are Crocosmias over here which have done their thing. They were planted at the back of the garden, but I brought them out because they need to be, once they've all died off, they need to be cut down. So I just brought them out from behind everything else over there and brought them over here because they need to be, when they completely die off, they need to be cut back down. So I just brought them out, be a bit easier. So my canary date palm, which I've had for a couple of years now, is slowly but surely recovering. This is the only one left out of 4, which I mentioned before, and it's got a lot of new growth. Obviously it probably won't do a lot now because we've got the wet weather. It should be changing in October really, but it's on wheels now. I've got it on wheels, so I can move it into the garage actually, where the last couple of years I've left them wrapped up, fleeced under this canopy, but still suffer some damage. So I'll fleece it up and put it in the garage, I think, this winter. Fuchsias, some cannas just over here, but over here I've got a Musa Sikkimensis. This is supposed to be a Bengal tiger. I got this in the springtime. I planted it in this big pot. This big pot actually has wheels on it, so I can move it around. And as you can see, the big purple deep red here. And if I look behind, let's hold this. It's a bit windy today. You see some of the dark red right here. So you can see it's been shredded, the leaves. It's been pretty windy. I don't know how tall it'll get before it stops growing, but I got it in the springtime as a equal one. I've also put it in the same pot as some pink chinas. This was cuttings from spring. As you can see, the runners are all over the place in here. But the reason I put them in this pot is that I can feed them and water them all at the same time. But that's quite a large leaf there, and there's the pink stem. I said there's a few runners in there, so there's going to be a bit more. This is from a cutting I took earlier on in the spring. My plan today is I'm going to tidy things up and deadhead things today. Just some cannas, a Cordline. I had some lilies in the pot, but they've done their thing. On the back here is just a whole bunch of different canna lilies. Some are doing their thing and starting to die off. So in the middle bit here, got the Crocosmias, which I planted last year. They did nothing, but they popped up this year at the front. Black Tropicana there, which was split from a plant in the spring. I split it into 2. Walk around. If I just take a little walk around here. Red Dragons, Persicaria Red Dragons. I give that a haircut ever so often. It's still going strong. Some Salvias. I've got 2 different Salvias in there. See, there's still the purple still there. This here was a lily called the African Queen, which has done its thing and gone. It's about 4 foot tall. This is a Cordline which has grown this year actually. Persicaria, I let the Persicaria run underneath. and do its thing. And you see there's another pink china. Another pink china underneath there. Plus it's a bit smaller because it's not getting the sun as it should be. Obviously more Crocosmias, which again never came up last year, come up this year. Give it a bit of colour. There's some dead ones there which I need to cut back. So, Musa Basjoo banana. This was wrapped and protected last year. It's got, I think, 3 pups growing, and it's readied because it's been a bit windy. I won't cut the leaves off till they go completely brown. I would say to the top of that is probably about 12 foot. And come round here, this pup here is probably coming along 6 foot. More salvias, and in the middle there will be different things. The salvias are growing in there, Persicarias are growing in there, Persicarias rather, I mispronounced this as you know from previously. This is the other Musa Basjoo, about 10 foot tall. It's wrapped and protected last year, and I think it's just got a couple of pups, it hasn't got any tall pups. So we've got another Sikkimensis Bengal tiger, as it's called, you can see, with the deep red, deep purple, and underneath deep coloured leaves. Pink chinas at the bottom. In fact, this is the mother plant where I got the cuttings from. And some salvias. What I'll do next year, God willing, touch wood, is I'll stake these back, because this Sikkimensis is going at an angle. So if I try to put a cane there, but I think I need something a bit more substantial, so I'll do that, God willing, next spring. So yeah, another Cordlines one's not doing as well as the other one on the other side. So in here we have a, right in the middle here, with all the new growth in there. I don't think you see the new growth. Another Trachy. This is a B&M special, so it's been in the ground for a year now. It's doing okay. Got the new growth growing up. Going through the middle, as you can probably see. That's all new growth there. Salvia's growing through there, so it's a different type. I think I've got two types of salvias in there. See, there's a wasp or something in there. This is the other Trachy. See a big growth coming in the middle. All that's new growth around here, as you can probably see. So that's what's happening in the middle. Purple Fantasy in there, which I did cut back. So Purple Fantasy was planted last spring. Same with the all my Persicarias were from last year, which I mulched over during the winter. Again, we had a very mild winter really here in the UK. Well, I am anyway. So go on this side, more pink chinas. I did a lot of cuttings actually, so but put one lot there, and here's another Trachy. All new growth coming up. As you can probably see if I go down here. At the back, Persicarias, they can do their own thing at the back there, it's just a fence. So I did trim it once, but I won't trim it, I'll leave it now, just to do its own thing down there, because in the winter it'll die back anyway as soon as the frost comes. Also some salvias are in there. It's coming to the end, some of the salvias. Down here again I've got some pink chinas, not growing as much because it's not getting as much sun. But I had so many cuttings, so I plonked a couple in here. These are very slow because they're in pots, so they haven't grown as quick or as big as in the ground. But I said I had a lot of cuttings, so I didn't know what to do with them. Musa Folia there, another one over there. So this Waggy here, Wagnerianus, that's really doing really well there in a particular part. Why that's doing particularly well there and not anywhere, not compared to the other one. Let's go along here. See all the new growth. There's another Bengal tiger at the back there. So these are the Alstroemerias, or the Peruvian lily, as I mentioned before. There, red coming through, poking through the waggy. Crocosmia I've got round now, got some yellow ones there, they're coming to an end, I need to trim the dead bits back. This banana plant is about 12 foot, 13 foot tall on that one there, again protected. I think it's got about 3 pups surrounding it. This trachy, which is in a raised bed, and it's got some new growth there, and it's doing fine. You can see the red dragons are all over the place, but I let them do their thing. They have little white flowers, same as the purple fancy. They have little white flowers as well. Crocosmia at the front. Some more Canna lilies. As you can see, the older red dragons are just all over the place there right now. There's the purple fantasy. They also have little white or pinky flowers on them. Alstroemeria is here. I think that's called Indian Summer, and I think it's called Summer Breeze. I can't remember what the names are. But I know that's Indian Summer, that one there. So you've got sort of red and blue, yellow and red-ish, and you've got all yellows, and you've got all reds. I think it's called Summer Breeze, this one down here. So this is the biggest, tallest banana. It's about 20 foot tall, you can't really see it. It's shredded because we've had a lot of wind. Even today it's been windy, as you can see, but I only chop the leaves off when they go really back brown, so they've done their thing. And it's got about 5, possibly 6 pups around it, around that one. See, that one's waiting to be cut back, that one there, waiting to get brown. And there's another pink china with it. Again, I've put them together because I can feed them and water them at the same time. It's the same feed. There's another pink china down coming through there. That's another waggy, which is not doing as great as the other one, but it's doing okay. Another trachy over here, a lot of new growth. The standard Japonicas are over here. I'll trim them back over the winter, I think. Some more salvias, 2 types of salvias over there. You can see the different colours. Salvias at the front here. The reason a bit flat because getting in here is a bit difficult. I find it a bit difficult trying to not stamp on things when I go in the back there to trim. Also, at the back of this fence there's a lot of bindweed, as you can probably see on that tree. And when it comes through I try to pull it, so I'm in there a few times, and unfortunately I flattened the salvias there, and I try to get in here. I don't want to damage the stems of the waggy or the Alstroemerias. And the Alstroemerias are, you don't deadhead them as you would normally. Once they done their thing, what you do, you pull the stem out from the base, so from the bulb. That's what I did last year, and they all came back. So when one of the stems completely does its thing, just try and look underneath that Bengal tiger. There's one there, it's got I think 1 flower left on it, so when that's done its thing, you pull the stem out from the bulb, as opposed to just deadheading, which you would normally do. Yeah, I think the Alstroemerias, there's a lot of colour in that, isn't there? See all that yellow, there's 2-tone colours there, red and yellow, and this is red, so it really stands out. I planted at the front there, don't know why I planted at the front there, but I did, and they survived the winter too. So I think that's what I did, I mulched them, I think that's what I did. In fact, I used the old leaves from the bananas and tore them up and laid them on the ground. I think that's what I did. And I've got some wood chippings stuff to lay on top. And right at the back there is a Yucca Rostrata. Right in the back, probably not getting the sunlight it needs. But it was a rescue when I got last winter. It was really bad, but it's doing fine, slowly but surely. But you probably don't get a lot of sun there because of the bananas covering it up, and I think Japonica's covering up. So I may move that once all this dies down. I may move that in the winter. In fact, I may bring that in under the canopy during the winter, and in the spring look at putting it somewhere else, a bit more sun on it. But this area is sort of a bit chock-a-block really. It's difficult to get in and out. That's what I found. There's another Sikkimensis there coming up. I've got 4 of them, so there's one there, and I got them late spring I think. One over there 2, and this one over here is 3, and the one in the big bucket is 4. Yeah, so 3rd week of August. Been a funny summer. Grass is suffering a bit, so I put the sprinkler out last night. I've had to sprinkle on it a few times. So we get this sort of like, if you're in the UK, you know what I mean. We get this like 2-3 days where we had mid-20s, high 20s. Then it'll go cooler. Although the spring, the beginning of the year, it was wet. It was really wet. For some reason, grandchildren are really attracted to the fountain. We've got a paddling pool, but they want to dip their feet in the fountain. But I say this particular waggy is doing really well there compared to the other one. I don't know why, but it must like that particular spot. If you look at the previous video, you'll find one of the fronds a couple of fronds had really bad winter damage from the previous year, but it's all grown out, it's all fine. There's new fronds and more grown out, I can see, but it really likes that spot. It really is taken. Compared to the other one, which is just here. Maybe because it's fighting with stuff, I don't know. But it's doing its thing. Same as these Trekkies over here doing their thing. So just swing around. There's just all the Cannas lined up there. Some of them are flowered, and I need to deadhead them and cut the stems off while it's seeding. So yeah, going back here, the bananas. The new leaf has been rolled out, another new leaf has been rolled out. But I'll wait till these leaves go brown all go brown like that, then I'll cut them off. I suppose all the effort and time and effort wrapping them during the winter, and it's wrapped from, I don't know, October to maybe March, then this is the result. This is what the payback is, isn't it? To keep the height. And there's one of its pups. One of its pups is here. I think it's got 3 pups, but the pups aren't as big as this one over here. This one obviously gets a bit more sun this side. These pups are quite tall. In fact, I think it's 1, 2, 3 pups, 4 pups on that one actually. And on this one there's 1, 2 pups on that one. That's got the most, that's got about 5 pups around it. That one there, that's the tallest and biggest. In fact, one of the pups is probably 10 foot tall. In fact, there's one coming unrolled here, as you can see. That'll probably unfold today. Because once they unfold, they're pretty quick to come out. That was new the other day, and it's ready because of the wind. So yeah, a quick pan around. So that's really what's happening 3rd week in my garden anyway. So I've gone out today. My job today is just to deadhead and tidy up and cut back stuff. I may give this another haircut. So what's happening around the front? So at the front, looking at it sideways, Chamaerops are okay, they're doing okay. Got new growth. the lilies here. That black Tropicana did have a large stem and flower, but it was windy the other day and it collapsed. I guess I should be supporting it, but I'll learn that for next time. These again were split. Another Canna's over there. This one's supposed to be purple, this one. Trek is doing fine over here, a lot of new growth as you can see coming through. Yellow Canna. Another purple, a couple more purples. Chamaerops, this has got dandelion growing right in it now. Even with gloves on them, it's difficult because it's cutting my hand. Even with gloves it's awkward. I need to go back in there again because you can see it's like overgrown. There's a dead frond there. This one, I trimmed back all the damaged fronds on it, and it's very thin. But I'm tugging at it, and there's no centre pull, so I'm not too sure. But hey ho, just leave that as it is. But I'll have another go trying to get the dandelion out of that. But it was a bit awkward, right in the bottom. And I got caught by the spikes a few times, so I'll have another go, even with gloves. Because every time I water it and feed it, obviously the dandelion saying thank you very much. So that's tricky. And the lilies. What these coloured stones are, they're from the back. When I was feeding the lawn with some pellety things for a spreader, it was hitting these stones that are around the back, and obviously it stained them. That's why, and I moved them through the front. So I know what to do next time. I cover them up around the back so it doesn't get stained. That's what they are. Yeah, so these lilies are doing fine. They're from last year, so I just cut them back and wrapped them up under the canopy, my canopy, and they came back. And so the black Tropicana was split, and it grew real tall, about 5 foot. And the other day we had a really windy day, and I came in the morning, it all collapsed. So I think it needs supporting, but I'll let it do its own thing. It needs to be split again actually, so there's 2 in there. So that's the front. And as far as the tiki bit is concerned, kids, grandchildren's toys are there. We had some large family events over a few weeks, so it's half ready to be used again or half ready to be packed up, depending what comes first on it. But yeah, so going back to the Canary date palm, I had 4, and this is the only one that survived. So it's on wheels, so my plan is I'll fleece it, tie it up, fleece it, and put it in the garage to maintain its well, its height or spread, because it's doing it very slowly. Cleopatra's in there, got mixed up with something else because I split the bulbs and must have left bits of rhizome in there. Yeah, I got the cannas along there because I know that the height or the width would hide someone next door. That pot needs to be straightened. It fell down, that pot. My granddaughter grabbed hold of it and it fell over, so I had to straighten that pot out. Yeah, so that's what my garden looks like the 3rd week of August. September is normally pretty good weather we normally have here in the UK in September. We have had the last few years. The weather's been pretty okay, so we shall see. But I said, repeating what I was saying, it's been a funny old summer here in the UK. Very late spring, so things were very slow, and we've had 3 days of nice warm hot temperatures for these plants, and then we go back to a bit cooler weather. But that's such thing, that's the way it is, right? So yeah, so look, one quick last pan. Well, hopefully catch you all again, touch wood. Any comments please leave, and all take care.